Uh, you guys, this does count as like a full. You guys will have a full rest between like where you guys ended last session and the entering Secundus's mind of this session.
So full rest.
Yeah, you guys all have full hit points because you're gonna need them. Not right away, but by the end of the night.
I can feel it. Wow. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're going away. I tested 3 d20s and I rolled a 17 on all 3 of them.
All right. Preston, I'm going to DM you a new link right now.
All right, can you guys hear me fine?
Yep.
How about me?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Beauty.
Just as gorgeous as ever. Foundry isn't wanting to load for... Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, just give it a second.
Well, like, the Chrome thing popped up like, this page is unresponsive. And then it responsive.
Responsified.
Yeah. I'm on the list. What the fuck does that mean?
It says you're in the game right now, so.
No, I just had a pop-up and it said, you're on the list. What? I don't know what that means, but okay.
You just made the list.
Yeah,
on my shit list.
Oh, no.
That's right, most people are.
Yeah, I got an early morning too, Steven. I'm going to go see Jurassic World.
Cool, I'm going to be at work, so suck your own dick.
I am not going to be at work.
I got Mondays off now, so I won't be at work.
I have Mondays and Tuesdays, but some asshole is going to a concert, so I got to work Tuesday.
What a piece of shit. You should kill him.
I mean, he honestly, though.
Remember how to play my character.
Hopefully you don't.
I didn't level my character up, but I don't feel like I really need to for being in my own brain. I feel like this might alter some of my leveling up characteristics.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, after tonight's session, like, level him back down to, like, and re-level him in a different path, that's perfectly fine.
Maybe. I'm just saying that, like, this will probably dictate what I take levels in if I...
Right.
I have a notification. Oh.
Sorry, just updating all your characters. It's really fun to see what you guys take levels in every time we play, because I don't usually check your character sheets in between sessions.
Oh no, Amazon's got to buy 2 books, get 1 free sale again.
Yeah, it's also fucking Prime weekend, or the Prime summer sale is coming up next week.
Yeah. Well, shit. Oh yeah, because the Walmart one starts too. Because we got a bunch of
Still
shit.
just 9 levels of fighter. Cool.
I don't remember what I took. I think I took another fighter.
Frank, 9 levels of druid. Man, a lot of you guys are just going straight, like, one pathway.
She's eating really
Nothing wrong with that.
My
I just,
phone needs to charge a bit, but I can
variety is the spice of life.
For me, I was like with Cole, I was doing like multi-classing, but this is my first time playing like anything that really has to do with magic. Like anytime I play
yeah,
a video
this is your
game
first
or anything
caster
like
class,
that,
right? I usually go sword and board.
So whenever you get a call, come here, Kyrie.
like whenever I play like any type of
Whenever you
video
get a
game,
call,
if there's
you'll
like
see a green
in Skyrim,
phone
I just
icon, and
like
you
sword and shield
slide it up
every
to
single
answer,
time.
okay?
Yeah,
Anytime
and then
I ever
I'll
play
eventually
sword
pick
and
up a bow.
Yeah. So just kind of dipping my toe.
essentially is some shit that if we get to a chance where I can espouse about Secundus, I will.
Oh,
So
fuck
that'll
yes.
be up to you. But it's okay if it turns off. Whenever you get a call, it'll light up and you'll see a green light.
There it is.
I feel like I need to go get my big water bottle so I can be included.
Hey man, whip it out.
Yeah, man.
It's in the car.
Oh, and you're in Texas, so it's probably like 3 million degrees. It's basically a bomb.
I just keep it in there because it's for work.
Not that matters, but I heard there's been a shitload of rain down there. So
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 hours away, right, Christian?
yeah, it's pretty sad. Oh, I hadn't seen any updates lately. Yeah, it's like 2 hours west of me.
I'm glad you're okay.
Let's see. Yeah, like it just rained here, but I can send the video of. There's a time lapse video that's fucking insane of the river. I think it's the Brazos, just fucking flooding. But there's like 60 people dead, and there was a girls' camp that got like fucked up. So like there's like 18 girls missing and a camp counselor, and it's
Jesus Christ.
it's
that's a
crazy.
lot.
It's crazy shit.
That's fucked up.
I'll send them in. Yeah, it's wild. That was earlier. The death toll was up to 59, I think.
So
But
Insane.
HEB, which is the grocery store, sent down a bunch of trucks filled with water and supplies. I think Walmart sent some trucks with some water. A bunch of people have been donating money and shit. That was the Guadalupe River. It wasn't the Brazos. Brazos is in Waco. What are you thinking? Yeah, I sent some stuff in the general chat.
Oh my god.
It was supposed to rain more today, but it didn't, which I'm fine with that.
we have not gotten any rain in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I should have went out and watered my like tomatoes and shit, and I didn't.
I know. That's what I did yesterday. Was water all the plants. Actually, no, I did it Friday when I was off.
Now it says it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I don't want it to rain tomorrow.
Couple of days.
It's just been windy as shit.
Should have went out and watered my like tomatoes and shit, and I didn't.
I know. That's what I did yesterday. Was water all the plants. All right. Are you guys all in the game? No.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we missing? Let's get this party started.
I think my
Sick of
token's
being-
missing.
Tyler
I'm on
and
my way.
your token is missing. I don't know why. Actually, these are all your. Let's bring up your.
Let's get it
these are all-
started.
I need to
Get
actually.
it started in here.
All these can get. Well, not you. All these get deleted.
Shit.
You sleepy boy?
Wake up, nerd.
No, I just got done eating, so you know.
Oh, the coma, the itis.
Yeah, that's how I felt earlier. I ate sandwich from Penn Station, and immediately I was like, I'm ready for a fucking nap.
Well,
Yeah.
what an evolutionary trait. You fucking
Right?
eat a big meal, fall asleep, get
Immediately asleep. Yep.
I will die again in a while. That's all right.
So
I didn't know this.
forgetting.
Yeah, I had another ribeye in the fridge, so I cooked it.
You just didn't need another can of ribeye Pringles.
I have one. It's over there. Unopened.
I bought some of those, and the ribeye ones are by far my favorite ones.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
The chicken ones were
one's
fine.
good, meh.
I didn't eat the brat ones. Oh, but I did try. We got the. I don't know if anybody else got it, but we got the Texas barbecue brisket.
I didn't see that one. I got a 7-layer dip one.
Ew,
7-layer dick.
gross. But it just tasted like a. It just tasted like a smoky barbecue. Is all it tasted like. It was fine.
Here. Alright. Don't need this anymore. Those. Boom, boom. Okay.
I did get this new Texas Rangers jersey.
Is that the Power Ranger one?
Yeah.
That one's sick.
Is that a Texas jersey flavored like Pringles? Is that how this works? Is everything?
My cousin works for the Rangers, and every once in a while I get a care package of random shit.
Okay.
Because I got a Whataburger hoodie jersey thing that's over there, and it says it's a 2X, but it does not fit like one.
Alright.
Maybe this is your body's casual way of saying that you're a 3X now.
I just went to 2X last year.
Oh,
Everything else that's 2X fits fine.
Somebody's catching up with their belt. All right.
Crazy shit is I went down in belt size.
that's just
Your
bone
boobies are getting bigger.
degradation. Your hip bones are losing calcium, but
Those honkers, man, just keep getting bigger.
they have big old can ears.
All right. So I am going to this.
Look at that turd splitter.
Look at the shitter on that critter. Okay.
You ready to game?
I am ready. I'm just grabbing an image of what you guys will see. We're going to go to helpful shit really quick.
I don't want to,
That's fine. You don't have to.
but I will, because I respect you.
I wouldn't.
We know that's a lie. Come on. We're
So,
children.
as you all sit down for your short rest, or your long rest, rather. Actually, I think you were intending to take a short rest, and Sakun just kind of shut down. Once everyone touched him, they were also kind of sapped into his mind. So once, at first, it feels like you're being pulled apart, like every single piece of you. It's like you're being spaghettified. Like how if you theorizing into a black hole, you get like spaghettified, and you're like basically pulled. It's like what happened to Mr. Fantastic and Multiverse of Madness. Spoilers. But once that's done, and you're all like reformed back inside of Secundus, you're no longer in the world that you knew. Instead, this is kind of what it looks like right here. You guys are kind of like standing on what looks like dirt ground. It's like stone ground. It's like a gray, black stone with a low fog kind of hanging down over it, about to your ankles. With like green and like purple motes of light that like swirl out of this massive like stone archway with in the middle it's black, but around it it's like rimmed with like this blue light that you're seeing all around it. And what you smell is the smell. Toby, this is probably the first thing that you notice. It's the smell of like burnt ozone. Like that smell whenever if you like after an electrical shock, like that smell is like the first thing that hits you. There's no like plant life in this place. And you then realize that you are able, in this portion right now, you're able to see into the like that giant portal, and in the middle of it is a figure that should look familiar to all of you, because it is Secundus. He's floating in the center of this like big black portal. But you see that is a version of Secundus because there's another one standing right next to you. The one in the portal seems to be moving its face, or its face is like lighting up or doing whatever, or it's whirring in the way that you recognize as Secundus speaking, but you cannot hear what he's saying. The Secundus that is standing next to you looks to all of you and says, You're not stepping into the memories of Secundus. You're stepping into pieces of his soul that have been fractured and reforged time and time again. These are not echoes of his past. They are decisions that shape the thing you know now. You'll see many things, and in seeing those things, you may decide to help your friend or let him meet his fate. What do you all do?
I make a quick Arcana check to kind of deduce what just happened to us.
Yeah, you can.
See if I can just.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my. So I think Mudgeon's stoically standing there, trying to keep his heart rate down. But I think
for some of you, the last time you were teleported, for Toby and Majin, you were teleported into places where one of you lost your hand, and the other one met some very terrifying individuals.
So I rolled a 25 Arcana.
We can grab all of you guys real quick. don't mind the name of the map that I'm putting you guys on right now, because this isn't what I'm using it for anymore.
Why does it say "fuck these fucks, they're gonna die"? Why is that the name of it?
It's just that's why Steven had to go to the bathroom. It's just a picture of his toilet.
Yeah, it's just a picture. It's all your character sheets printed out, sitting on turds.
No, it's like a whirlpool in a toilet, but what?
Wait a minute.
Those logs
Oh,
are
it's
on?
immortal.
Wait a minute.
It's like, wait a second.
Hold the phone. Take the grid. Put you inside. We'll see. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm going to need to change the size of this map. Yes. Yep, that'll work. No. Alright, so I'm going to activate this map really quick. Oh, what the fuck?
So now if she calls, I'm taking a shot.
No, you missed a call, Kyrie. You missed a call. Are you gonna take a shower now, or?
There we go. Should have pulled all you guys in.
Cool.
Let's do those ones. All right.
Pyramids are always a bad sign.
Pyramids are never a good sign. Yes, there are. There are three. Like this is literally what you guys see. There is three of these like stone pyramids, each one of them containing like that blue like portal in the middle of it. You rolled a 25 for your Arcana check, correct?
I did, yeah.
You immediately know that you're not sure how, but you guys have been transported into for lack of a better way of describing it, a pocket dimension inside of Secundus's head.
Welcome to my plane of power.
Yes.
Nerd.
Also, you guys don't need to worry about the stuff that I sent you before. I changed the way that I'm doing the session.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was just moving you guys to the center. There. What a nerd. All right. Every so often, you guys do see maybe off on the outsides of the structure or piece of land that you're standing on. You do see like figures passing by, but they seem to not pay you any mind whatsoever. They seem to be humanoid in nature, in varying sizes and shapes.
I'll try calling out to one to see if they.
As you call out to one of them, it turns and faces you. It doesn't really get any closer. It doesn't go beyond the boundaries of this, what you're standing on, the land that you're standing on. And if any of them do get close enough, they are not going within like the triangle created by the pyramids. And you do appear to be standing in some sort of liquid. As you walk around, you can hear splashing.
Get out of the.
Oh yeah, I have no clue what's going on here.
I'm gonna inspect the.
You're cutting out a little bit.
I'm inspecting one
There
of
you
the
go.
pyramids.
Yeah, roll. You can roll for that. Investigation, or if you want to do something more specialized, you can do that too.
Stealth. Only a plus. Yeah, only a 9.
Okay. I surface level, you can see that there's writing on it. What languages do you speak? Erebos.
Ooh. Elven?
Okay. Infernal, Common, and Elven. Let me turn this. All right. So you. Ooh, wait. You can make out some of the words, but you can't make out all of them. You can make out. You can see that there is infernal writing on it, but there are two other languages that you do not speak. That you do not know what it's saying.
Of the infernal, what do I see?
You see the word vessel on it, but that's the only infernal word that you can make out.
This stuff we're standing in is.
Go ahead.
This stuff we're standing in is dirt or liquid or mud.
So there, you can feel there's, as you look around, there is stone around you. There's a layer of like fog or mist that is up to about midway between your ankle and your knee, so in your calf area. But you were standing in a liquid. You can't see the color of liquid because it's covered up by the mist. And as you're like, and the only reason you know it's wet is because one, you can feel it on your feet or your boots, and the sound it's making as you're walking through it. Erebos, you did exit the water whenever you walked over towards the pyramid.
I lift up my boot and examine what's all over it.
It's like a purple, like it's a purple viscous liquid. It's kind of sticking to your feet a little bit, but no more than some other things that you've stepped in.
I give it a little sniff.
From your boot all the way up to your.
Lefty is a
Very
limber man.
It also has that. When you sniff it, it has that strong smell of burnt ozone.
I like to imagine that Lefty didn't even use his hands to bring his boot up to his face. Just
They didn't need to.
Your foot, yeah.
Well, don't care for that. You figure a way out of here yet?
Same smell that comes up whenever your trick knee starts hurting before a thunderstorm.
Well, I was gonna say, what if the pyramids are like trials that we have to do?
Were you asking Lefty or Majin, or who are you asking?
Just announcing it to everyone.
Well, Frank had asked a question to someone.
Who was over here by one of the pyramids examining it?
That was
It's me.
Yeah.
I have walked over next to him. And I suppose I'm asking him.
Oh, sorry, what were you asking?
If you've figured out a way to get out of here yet.
Oh, absolutely not. I see the word vessel on here, and I'm trying to figure out if maybe these are doors that can open.
Which one says vessel?
Point at
The infernal.
again.
It's a
Well, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are any of the words draconic, druidic, elvish, or sylvan?
They are
Didn't
not.
finish the shower about it.
I don't know any of these squiggles.
And then I assume Preston overheard that, and that's whenever you spoke up.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
way into your...
And what did you say, Preston?
I was just wondering if the pyramids were like trials or something, because they got little doors on them.
Maybe we've got to climb to the top. I'll give that a shot. And I attempt to climb the pyramid. Because I'm a crazy old man.
It's a very flat pyramid, but roll either athletics or acrobatics to try and make your way up.
Oh, like a smooth surface.
Yes, it's very smooth. Like it'd be impossible to cut this stone. It looks like it's one stone pyramid. Like it looks like it was etched out of stone this way.
I don't think I even get any purchase. It's just sort of me putting my skin up against it and sliding, making kind of a squeaky noise.
Yeah, you like it's however, feeling it, you feel that it's like a black glass. It's like these pyramids are made of obsidian, or at least this one is.
Are these doors that I'm up against?
They are doors, or they're portals. They're they're doors.
Okay.
Doors make more sense than portals.
Yeah, I'll try to open it.
Just to give up on that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. As you push the door, it does not open. It almost appears as if it's waiting for someone to open it. Did Tyler come back? No, not yet.
Are they like locked, or are they just like really heavy, or is it like kind of magically sealed?
Magically sealed. You can assume magically sealed. It would not. There is no lock that you can see, and when you try to push it, it does not move.
Okay.
Well, these pyramids are as smooth as my balls. I can't climb them.
What are these circles?
They're stone. I mean, they're just pillars. They're stone pillars that stick up into the air. You can't see if they're holding on to anything, but they do go ever onward. Actually, above you, you do see another like platform, just like the one that you're on. Like I don't mean like another triangular platform, like a mirror image of the platform that you're on. Like has liquid in the middle and three more pyramids right there.
Does it have mirror versions of us?
It does not.
Okay, good. So whenever you find a mirror version of yourself, you have to kill it before it kills you.
We're not there.
Nice.
We're not there yet.
I saw that movie.
Is this just all free actions?
Yeah, you guys are
bystander at this point.
No, Secundus, you can do things.
Okay.
You are operating as the perfect version of Secundus right now.
I guess Perfect Secundus will come over here to the pyramid that you guys are inspecting.
Okay, cool. You can see, as you're looking, you see the infernal word, which is Kezreth, which means a vessel or that which bears the weight.
Yeah, he'll speak that out loud and kind of place his hand on it.
Yes. You also see the abyssal word, Gorvash, which is devourer of selves, and the celestial word, Se-Ra-Leth, which means to... Where is that one? No. Oraleth, which is the shield given freely. To protect without condition.
Do I get a sense of beginning, middle, or end here?
I would say that... Yes, you do get a sense of beginning, middle, end. In a sense that... that you should... Infernal would be the first. That would be the beginning, and then the abyssal one would be the middle, and then the celestial one would be the end, the final one.
I can read abyssal and celestial. Can I help?
We have the infernal word, which is meaning which is vessel, basically. And bringing in our guest this week, Sleep Token. No.
Imagine he just shows up with a mask. You'd be crazy.
I can read Elvish.
That doesn't help us, but you guys also have all three of the words already. You have vessel, you have that which bears the weight is like the common word for it would be vessel. Then
can we see the other pyramids?
You can see the other
It's like
pyramids.
60 feet away. Would you be able to read
Yeah.
it from here?
No, you would not be able to read it from there.
So I guess Secundus will say this. This would appear to be the beginning. And then,
What does...
What were the 3 words?
Sorry, it was...
Infernal word was vessel. What was abyssal and celestial?
The second word, the abyssal word, is... Scrolling. Gorvash, which is devourer of selves.
Okay.
And then the celestial one is the shield given freely. I will put all these in the...
that's just so you don't have to look them up again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I guess could I do a quick history check just to see if any of this like clicks? Like, oh, I've read this in a book, or like.
I don't know. I don't think that a history check would really get you anywhere, because this is all existing inside of Secundus's pocket
You've
dimension
read
brain.
my memoirs, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like maybe there's like a prophecy of a vessel that's the devourer of selves, and you know what I mean? Like but you don't think that would come up?
No, not that you would have researched freely. That like Majin would have known. And then also just not that I have written. but now I need to take notes. So we have.
Does the pyramid look like it can open? Like, are these doors that we're trying to open?
Yes, they are doors. Yeah, you weren't here when I said that. But yeah, they are doors. They were not opening whenever Erebos tried to push them open. As if they were magically sealed.
Secundus will put his hand on it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Secundus puts his hand on it, and it you feel it change. Like the stone recesses a bit, but it doesn't open. It seems as if it's waiting for something.
Okay. And we'll go to the next pyramid, I suppose.
Yeah. See, what does the next one say? If it's something different.
Give me 1 second. I'm just putting these words in here real quick.
Words.
Words.
If Lefsky is next to me, I'm going to ask him to put your hand on the door too.
I put my fleshy hand on the door.
Anything
I'm
else
gonna
change?
go to this one.
And with my other hand, I hold hands with Secundus.
You assume it's waiting for a command word more than for you to just have a nice moment with your friend.
Melon.
You just hear Toby from the other end. Open the fuck up!
Speak friend and enter. What's friend in Elvish? Melon. Has anybody mentioned Secundus' voice changing? Has that been brought up?
No one has mentioned that.
Can I make an insight check? Can I? Hey man, your voice is different.
I don't think you need to make an insight check. You just hear his voice changing.
Well, actually, I do want to make an insight check. Can I make an insight check just looking at him? Like body language, voice is different. Is this the same Secundus we're seeing on the outside, or is this a different Secundus?
That is a question for James.
Yeah, so you're seeing a perfect form of him as he would have been in maybe his casual attire before he was
Secundified?
Yeah.
But is it like different though? I know it's like perfect form, but is it like I still caring for Moss?
Creative.
Go ahead. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, so you'll see he's larger than what you remember him being by like maybe a good 4 or 5 feet.
He's already about 12 feet tall, so he's like 16 feet tall now.
Yeah, almost as big as that stone storm giant you guys were flying. You see what weird folded appendages underneath his arms. I guess you could roll an insight if you want to know what they are, but
yeah, I'll roll an insight on that.
Okay.
I got a 15.
That's all right. That's good. So they look like 2 sets of other arms, but they're reverse right now. Like you see, like the elbows and I can't remember the name of the reverse knee stuff, but and they're gripping something on his back, which they look kind of like large shields, maybe would be on his back, but.
General Grievous, you felt like 6 shields.
Yeah, 2 shields. Two shields to block with, and then he has large, fists and stuff. But
I guess my main question is like the Secundus on the outside spoke and moved with like a little bit of like softness. And like, you know what I mean? Like he was like there was a gentle giant element to him. Is this a more stoic version?
This one's much more prideful. This one's much more
interesting.
Unperturbed by lessers.
Okay.
If you want to get that sense, I mean, he hasn't talked much. He doesn't really deign to acknowledge you guys. So nobody's talked directly to him yet until now.
Okay.
Maybe you need to read the words that's on the door.
Hmm.
You could assume that would be the correct path to go.
Yeah. So be it. And then he'll read the first word, the second word, and then the third word.
As you read these words, the door. It doesn't even really the door doesn't even open at that point. It's just like
fades away.
Yeah, it fades away, and you're able to. I don't know if you're able to walk through so much as it pulls you through.
As a plane of incorporealness, so it can do whatever you need it to do.
Yeah. I mean, it pulls you through, and then I think the rest of you see Sukunis get pulled through like a moment before you're all pulled through. But when you're pulled through, the rest of you it hurts a little bit.
I was holding his hand. Does that have any weird effects?
It hurts a less a bit.
It hurts a less a bit, but Lefty, could you share a poignant memory from your life? Not Frank's life.
I sent you that, and now I don't remember where I sent you that at.
I think it's in the. Let me see. I think it's in our DMs. In between us, showing us taping 3 yardsticks to measure our wieners. Those pictures.
All right. Lefty's poignant memory. I found it.
Yeah.
Once, long ago, far too long ago for a human lifespan, Lefty was a soldier instead of a druid. And he fought in a long-forgotten war over something that had little to no impact on history. And he felt the futility of it at the time, and he decided he would abandon his post. So he threw down his sword and armor, and that was the last time he wielded metal for the fickle whims of men.
Fucking Jean Valjean over here.
Jesus.
And that is part of that disillusionment. That's so when he started his journey away from civilized world and into being a crazy old druid man.
So that is all of Secundus. You now have that memory as well. Not all of Lefty's memories, but you now have that one. Like you remember that as if you lived it as Lefty in that moment.
Yeah, bud.
Smell my armpit. It smells like something.
So then we after that,
Smell like minty.
you guys all see.
Because I use mommy's mints.
Did the rest of so is that's a memory that I've lived essentially, but
Yes.
does the rest of everybody else get
I think everybody else
yeah
sees it.
witness it?
Yeah, they don't.
But it impacts me emotionally.
Yes,
I
you
feel that
like.
emotion.
Yes, the emotions and like the weight of it that you feel, the hard decision that Lefty would have had to have made to like give up his post, sacrifice like the safety of his the other soldiers or whatever he was doing at the time when he abandoned
I
his
have
post.
PTSD now.
You now have
further
PTSD.
I just want to point out that as a being made of metal, feeling that sensation of choosing to cast away all metal, that has to be a weird headspace.
To
That
literally
probably
throw
feel
my
great.
arms down.
Yeah. Let's see.
I guess as we step out, I'll look to him and I guess I'll feel breathless and I'll be like, how could you cast your own self away? How could I?
Well, I didn't like the self that I was, and I wanted to forge a new self. Maybe that's something you can relate to. And I'll tap a knuckle on his metal chest.
As the rest of you come into the scene, and you, the floor in this room. Sorry, we're using a good bit of theater of the mind for right now. You guys won't have to fight anything until hopefully the end of the session. And so as you guys kind of come into this room, you and the floor beneath you, Secundus and Lefty, you now notice as well. As you walk a little bit further, is you hear that like pinking of like obsidian as you're like walking across this glass, and it's like forming underneath of each step as you are looking down on you're looking down on like this moment of like these all these colors of like bleeding out of where you're standing, which is everything that's black, and kind of like sucking down into this middle point. Excuse me. And it's glowing with the silver glow that you guys have come to know from like the goo that you found, or the or that is associated with like star steel from the meteors and stuff like that. And underneath of that, the ground solidifies. It's still black obsidian ground with these spiraling runes that pulse with this ancient like.
It's too late for that. Okay.
I mean, we're in his brain, so like an ancient memory. And you guys stand inside of a massive circular chamber that looks like Cerebro from X-Men. And inside of this chamber are like floating at different points are these like massive like titanic anvils, like huge pieces of metal. And they're in these like suspended bridges of like radiant metal, like brass, silver, gold, as they're like hanging above you. You hear off in the distance, like not too far, well, not even in the distance, you see this as you like hear the loud banging of a hammer on something, on an anvil, like on a hot anvil. And Secundus, you know this as the Forge of Origins, which everybody else can roll a history check on.
Does that have anything to do with religion? Can I make a religion check on it? The Forge of Origins?
You could. Yeah, I would allow a religion check. If any of you want to make a religion check as well.
I got a 23 for history.
Naturally, I have proficiency in history, but I put it to religion because it made more sense. I got a 25.
Okay. Anybody who rolled above a 20 on this has heard of the Forge of Origin. Anyone who rolled above a 25 knows that some researchers believe that in the some scientists, wizards, practitioners of arcane arts believe that far off in the universe is a place called the Forge of Origins where all life started. And now you're all seeing this, which confirms that it may not have been a myth at all. In the center is a figure who you do not know. You don't know his name. Secundus knows his name. Onus. He's a being of like regal, immovable presence. He's taller than... He's a Warforged. He's taller than any Warforged you've ever seen. Even taller than the current Secundus, who's at 16 feet. This guy's probably... He's massive. I'm trying to, like...
Well, didn't Christian, you brought up the thing on Netflix that you're watching? Yeah, bud. Oh boy.
Sandman.
Yeah, you know, like whenever they like zoom out and there's him and his godly presence, right?
Yeah, it's like that.
Season.
Yeah. Like, it's not so much. You don't see like a table with like people running around on it and stuff like that, but you do see this huge figure who is like in that size comparison, that large. He's taller than any figure you've seen before. His body is like flowing with like the meteors that would carry star steel, and like the you can see white light peeking out, like where his veins would be, and you can assume that that is like liquid starlight, the aetherous sap that you've come across, the goo. His core is exposed, and it's like a beating white. It's a miniature sun, basically, in his chest. The arcane, you can feel the heat as it rolls off of this guy. On a raised, like, dais. Is it dais or dais?
I think either
It's
actually
Dais.
works.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It sounds dumb whenever you ask.
Right, exactly. On this raised dais, suspended by like those elegant brass, like it's like these two. It's this massive statue that's like holding it up. It's like this massive brass statue. The dice is sitting in like the hands of it. Floats a still forming figure. And I gotta look at that really quick so I can make sure that I get the name. The scores. Sweet Christ. Okay. What was that? Okay. Let's see here. All right, in front of you is okay. Floats this still forming version, but in this thing that he is currently making on this dais, you feel the presence of Secundus, but his body is not yet whole. He doesn't.
The lantern unlit.
Exactly, or I mean, kind of the other way around. It's a lit lantern with no casing. The threads.
A bare fire.
Yeah, you can see like the threads of the ethereal light of like the aetherous sap like floating off of it, weaving into the frame of what you know now as, well, maybe not the exact version, but a version of Secundus, a smaller, sleeker, more built for not protecting the way that you know him.
Less shape of what he is now. And
yes. Yeah.
Not what he's become, but what he was.
What he was. And then Onus lifts a hand. With
Can
like
pull a piece of light from within his core and a tiny speck on his fingertip, and
that's exactly what he's doing. He lifts his hand, and like as he like lifts it, like some of the light from his chest like spirals out, like kind of like a smoke out into like a ball as he like pushes it down into this vessel that you now notice that you know is Secundus. He looks down on this figure and he says, "You were not forged to hold the line. You were forged to build the line." And he stops and looks over his shoulder and sees the group of you standing there, and you feel that even though you were in a memory right now, you feel like he is looking directly at you.
That creepy omniscience.
Yeah, exactly. Like he sees you even though you're not technically there.
Is Onus a god?
You assume it look it. I can't confirm. Yeah, quack. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hear hoofs. You don't think zebras.
Can I make a religion check? Like, have I heard of Onus before?
What
do I know about?
Yeah, you can. I would say it's a high DC. But given the 25 that you got earlier, I will not give you disadvantage.
Sure. Try again. That's an 18 on the die plus 9 for 27.
Okay.
At best, it would have been rumors from
it's
Secundus or others like him.
If you heard about Onus, it would be, I would say, less talked about than even your own god. Because whereas your god is a god, Onus is more of a primordial. Like, he's a titan. Like, he was before the gods. If you heard about him at all.
But I heard about the Forge, so how would I? So if I
you've heard about the Forge, but you exactly that's why you know a little bit about it. You don't know anything about him specifically.
Is Onus associated with the
Forge? You can just use it.
Yeah, he is not the Forge. You can just use it.
Being might use it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we see things scrub forward a little bit, like if you're fast forwarding on a VCR. And now we see Secundus standing in this same position, not as large. And it seems like he's trying to do the same things, but he's just not, he doesn't feel it. There's no he's not, I don't want to say he's not unsuccessful, but it's almost like he's choosing not to build more.
So.
Yeah, James, you can take over on that.
Yeah, so where I said that the Secundus stands before you now is more prideful. The words that Onus had said to him were before consciousness had taken hold, and he didn't really understand that he should be building the line instead of being the line, being the defense. So he feels powerful enough. He knows his origin and what he could be, and he's more going through the motions mechanically that have been commanded to him, and he's growing in his own power, but not in the ways that matter. It's more of a selfishness you might see in him. He's bombastic in a sense, doesn't stand down from fights that he doesn't have to fight, seeking a fight instead of defending.
He's not really protecting life. He's
being a right Chad, So.
Yeah. He's being a dude, bro.
Yeah.
He's just being that guy.
Doing lifts,
Yeah.
Getting buff.
And then I think you all get this overwhelming feeling of sadness. As you see, you look at all these other forges that were floating around, and you see all these other warforged, with lines and lines of other warforged. They create one, and then that one branches off and creates its own. And the only one that seems to not really have any other warforged really surrounding him is Secundus. There are these figures. I think I don't know. We're still in a memory, so you can't interact with them, but you can explore the space and theater of the mind, obviously. So you can look at these other warforged, and you can tell that some of them clearly don't look anything like Secundus. Some of them resemble the Modrons that you guys had seen earlier. Small, geometrically shaped creatures.
I think Majin would want to go at least take a look at the forge. That's cool. We're just kind of pre-balling it in this room. Like I think Majin would slowly kind of walk up to the forge and be like, "So this is the thing I've always heard about in stories," and just kind of look it over. If I can make an investigation check, just so like if ever I come across the real thing, I might have a chance at like forging something from it.
You can do whatever you want.
Can I do? Because I don't really have anything useful. Can I give another myth to see if there's anything different?
There is. I mean, it smells like a hot blacksmith right now, but you still smell that distinct smell of burnt ozone. But now there's like a tinge of iron in it as well.
Can I roll to try to find like a source or something?
Absolutely, you can. I'll give you advantage if you use your nose.
Alright. I'm on all fours, nose to the ground.
All fours in cosmic space with these.
It looks very funny.
Pink prismatic things.
It's like dog paddling.
What are you sniffing, dude? In space, nobody can smell you pee.
What kind of check are you? Is that investigation?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
21.
So it. You have that metallic scent and you lock in on it.
Metallic as in metal or metallic as in blood because I'm a blood?
Metallic as in blood. You do get that, like... It's not like fresh blood. It's blood that's been sitting. It's you can't track it down. You can just smell it, but it smells like more coagulated than like fresh blood.
Okay.
Secundus Perfect Sect is just going to walk up to that memory of, or that vision of all the other Warforged, the ones that look kind of. He's just going to kind of look up at it, kind of hold his hands up to it, and he'll just look like he's in quiet contemplation of it, holding his arms up, looking at it, thinking.
God, the chair rocking behind you just creeped me out so hard right now.
No, James's house is haunted.
Oh, for sure it is.
Great.
I believe in that kind of crap, but
Yeah. What were you? Oh, so you can't track. You cannot track down where this scent is coming from, even with a 21. That's what you rolled, right?
Yeah.
You can't. You can like. You sniff it all the way around like the border of this room, and you cannot figure out where it's coming from.
Can I make a grander, I don't know what the check is going to be, but like mechanically, am I feeling like Secundus needs help here, or is this just something he needs experience?
I think this is something that you guys are experiencing as it's a poignant moment in Secundus' history.
Gotcha, okay.
We're feeling what he's feeling in that moment.
Yes, and you are feeling this, like, how would Secundus have been feeling emotionally in this moment, James? Sorry, the kimono's coming off, guys.
So if anybody wants to like ask in Secundus' ponderous state, I've got some prepared stuff.
Yeah, this I feel like James is going to. I am going to lead you guys down the track comparatively, but I think James is going to be doing more of the expedition-y stuff.
What is Secundus doing right now?
He is kind of just sitting in quiet contemplation. Yeah.
Looking up the memory.
He's just like T-posing.
Yeah.
Even perfect Secundus. He's just.
Yeah. Well, James is currently perfect Secundus.
Yeah. What's his
He's standing there watching the rest of the Warforge build and create while Secundus is alone. That memory that's flashing and scrubbing through on repeat.
Just to get the ball rolling, I'll walk up and I'll ask Secundus, when was this?
When is not as important as a long time ago, but why is more where I am there. Onus had wanted us all to learn through revisions of ourselves, building, giving as a lesson. But I couldn't see that on my own, and I put this task off longer than any of my brethren. I thought, why should I weaken myself, as he had, if I were meant to protect? He and many others came to speak to me. That's where he's at right now.
And you didn't have the same vision of yourself as the rest?
To tear a piece of myself off and make a weaker version. Never. How would I grow stronger? But reflecting back, it seems like it is what I was meant to really do.
And what did Onus do?
He brought a small fraction of himself and the rest of them together. They convinced me, begged me, almost made me build another. The first from my line.
Build another Secundus?
Sure, yes. To break my spark in half and lay it down in another body.
Is it your spark or is it Onus's spark? Are you just a fragment of Onus?
We are. In meta terms, Secundus would see all of this line of Warforge as part of Secundus, and they're each part of each other, and then all part of Onus.
Very like Geth kind of hive mind from Mass Effect. Only each one is still an individual. I don't think they share all the memories.
What more does essentially a god have to do but witness and observe us smaller beings experience life, blinding itself from the all-presence that it can possess? It grows when we grow. It weakens when we weaken.
Well, I might be a crazy old druid, but as for the thought of splitting oneself in order to grow stronger, that's what the oak does with an acorn. The oak gives of itself and builds a forest, mightier than any single tree.
I think Secundus will look at you and do the, that seems wise for one of flesh. And maybe you'll scrub to Secundus and his brothers working on a small body.
Yeah.
I don't know where Steven, where you want to go.
We do see, like, we do scrub a little bit further. In between the two, well, I wouldn't even say in between. We say, it doesn't even scrub. You guys kind of, like, everything around the memory, so to speak, like, shatters like glass. And then reforms again to bring you into another vision. And this one's much louder. Whereas the last one the only thing you really heard was like the rhythmatics, like hitting of hammers on anvils, and like maybe a soft buzzing of energy. But this one, any of you, especially Lefty, I think that you may hear these sounds and understand what's happening immediately. There are screams of people. Before you see anything, you hear screams. You hear steel hitting steel. You hear stone crumbling. You can hear like a faint like alarm sound, like a noise as like these sirens howl. And then the smell hits you. It's still that burnt ozone. All of you can smell the blood now, and you can smell like there's also a like not metallic, but like a mechanical, like an oil smell. Everything begins to like come into view as if everything was like paused in mid breath, and then everything picks up slowly and slowly and slowly, and then everything in like an unsettling clarity. A door in front of you like doesn't even like swing open, like bursts off the hinges, shattering into pieces. As not the version of Secundus that you see next to you, not this perfect form, not the version that you saw like in the material world, and not the one that you saw working at the forge. A somewhat larger, beefier version of Secundus breaks this door in with just like not even a weapon, just like the shield that is on his arm slams through this door, shattering it into pieces. You can now hear like the thunder and the lightning and the rain that is also down outside. His chassis, like his chest, is like scorched. There's like clearly spots where he's been injured, and in some of those spots where he's been injured, you can see that like he has taken to rubbing different plants in there. Like there's some dirt. Like he has probably seen humans or other living beings rubbing dirt on wounds, like or something like that. He knows that some plants have healing. He knows that some plants
wants me to grow. I'll grow.
Yes, it's he knows some plants have healing properties. The building that he seems to have bursted into, there are you can make it out to be an apothecary. There's like plants in like different vials. There's beakers. There's bottles of like potions and stuff like that. Behind him, you can hear people screaming out for help. You can hear people dying. You can hear the sound of like the whirring sound of like a dying warforged. That sounds not unsimilar from how Secundus' voice usually sounds, but something similar to that, slower. And through the door, after Secundus has moved out of the way, some of you could recognize this warforged that is standing in like the middle of all of this chaos, as a warforged who was he was a fighter at the Colosseum. He's calm. He's almost like detached from the situation as he follows Secundus into the building and stands there looking at all the people who are dying, and then I think so you see him, and then everything around him changes to the previous day, right outside of the Colosseum. And we see as Secundus charges forward. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't ask anything. He doesn't even hesitate. He grabs Thorn by what would be the throat and slams him into the wall behind, hard enough to like break the wall. Thorn doesn't resist, not at first. And now you all see as
Thank you.
yes. This is where I'm going to need you to roll your performance checks. No. So you see this moment that James had described to us several months ago, as he brutally and without any remorse beats this Warforged into I can't even say submission. He kills this thing, slams his fist into its chest, and you can see as he grabs at the spark that would be in the middle, as it pulses with like a green white light, and then consumes it. He doesn't eat it; he like absorbs it into himself. And you can hear a whisper, like it sounds like the voice you heard. It's Onus's voice, and it says, "One soul carried forward." You see, and then the scene freezes. So everything shatters around you again, reforms, and then you see a moment of reflection as Secundus is, after he's been flung through the air and has been impaled by this tree. He's hanging there. It's probably in between the time where you guys, before you got to him, you see him hanging there, kind of looking at his hands, having a realization that like he doesn't know why he killed this man or this other Warforged, but a part of him felt very good about doing it. You can now feel the presence. All of you now also feel the presence of this other Warforged as like this spectral version of it begins to float around Perfect Secundus. But you all feel the pain of this Warforged thorn, like in your core, like deep in your stomach. It's not angry; it's just confused and sad. And it's like a quiet but constant presence.
Does it want to hug?
You can try to hug
I
it.
want
It
to try to hug it.
It doesn't acknowledge your presence whatsoever.
Damn.
How is prideful Secundus?
Did he pass through it, or did he actually?
Yeah, is it like a ghost?
Yeah, you like. It seems so. It's like. It's like floating. It doesn't have any legs. It's just like the upper, from like the waist up of this Warforged, floating there. Like the lower half where the legs would be is attached to like Perfect Secundus.
Okay.
How is Perfect Secundus feeling in this moment with witnessing that?
I don't
ask him.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect Secundus does.
I guess like
has
we see
a
reaction
recollection of this. That, like Perfect Secundus would have been over before this. But
Yes.
he looks curious.
yes.
Somewhat proud of the destruction. But curious at how awful he looks. That in kind of disbelief that this could be the same person.
Yeah. And then the everything around you shatters and then comes back. And we are in like this towering stone like tribunal courthouse. We can't make out where it is. We only see the inside. the flames are out, like flames are crackling quietly from braziers that are burning without fuel, magic fires. The architecture is, to all of you except Secundus, it looks very alien and mechanical. It's like much like how things were in the Living Forest, like organic and inorganic materials are like shaped.
H.R. Geiger, like
Yeah.
spin.
Yeah, like
Everything's
everything is
lots
like
of vaginas and boobs. And
yeah, it's a lot of that. Yeah. It's like something designed it. Somewhere, whatever designed it was conflicted between like logic and emotion. And then there's a heavy stillness that like settles over everything. And you, the party, are all in the audience gallery, overlooking a raised dais where Secundus stands shackled, not by steel, but by radiant threads of living energy that you guys have been seeing, that pulse with judgment. At the far end of the room, there are 3 warforged that sit in massive thrones. One of them is cloaked in like a ceremonial bronze, with similar old symbols etched into the plating of it. A voice, perhaps of Onus. It sounds like it could be him, but you're something about it sounds different.
Sounds lesser.
Yes, sounds a bit weaker, or older, maybe.
Certainly not that figure from the beginning.
Certainly not the figure from the beginning. It's not as powerful. You don't get the same awe, like the presence of like you were in the presence of a god before, whereas now you're just like, this is something that is yes. And then it looks down on him, on Secundus. It says, judgment was made, not with a gavel, but a blade. You were supposed to protect, not... Your job was that of a protector, not of an executioner. You were the one chosen to hold. You were the one chosen to hold this spirit accountable. You knew he had grown erratic, dangerous, but you still loved him as kin, as brother. You have to speak the verdict aloud. Why did you agree to this? And you can tell that is the 2 other judges speaking like in time, like at the same time as they speak to this this first figure that was speaking. Secundus, you recognize this figure as Vex. He was one of the. He was a warforged that you remember from your time as like. I would say in the forge. You guys probably spent some time there together, but he probably had a relationship close to like that of an older brother with him. He did spend a lot of his time when you were younger protecting you and looking out for you and making sure that you were doing the things that Onus had set you out to. And in your mind, the perfect Secundus, actually all of you hear the warbled scream of prime material Secundus, as if he is in a great deal of pain. And then you hear, you get a vision of that Secundus hanging in that blue circle with the black background, of him hanging there whispering as he's screaming out in pain, as a Onus, as you it's the same figure from you can see from like the back of him looking down on Secundus, saying, "This isn't who you are, Secundus. This isn't what you were made to do." As he holds, this is a much smaller version. You can assume that he can change his side, like most gods, you know. He reduces himself down to probably about 20 feet tall. And he has a massive like spear made of this light as he begins to press it into Secundus's like moss. And now you can all begin to smell. Let me look that up really quick.
It's like petrichor, like with like the
it's like a
stone before rain, like whenever.
Yeah. It's a very like petrichor type smell, but it also is. Let's go. I'm trying to look up what the smell, what like moss smells like whenever it burns.
Oh.
It's kind of a pleasant smell. It's like a sandalwoody type smell. But then you also get that smell of blood and ozone and oil all mixing in at the same time. It's really disorienting to your olfactory senses.
So it's a bit like smoked peat.
Yeah, it is very much like smoked peat, like smoked peat moss, basically. And I think in that moment, you're all shunted back to that first room that you were in, where now you see Secundus, who this seems to be earlier than the vision that you just saw, as he stands there, finally making.
I'm at the forge myself, right?
Yes, you were at the forge yourself. Yeah. And it seems like this is the moment that you've been convinced to build something more.
I think so. So perfect Secundus would have been like warped into that memory. I think he'd hand hammers to the rest of the party, and then
Have you got a wooden mallet?
Do you have a? Is that a thing? Like he doesn't handle like metal?
He doesn't handle. Yeah, he doesn't handle metal. He gave up metal. That you know that. Yeah, like he has his own set, like camper's set of silverware that's made of like made of wood or like stone or something. But it's like one of those ones where like it comes with a knife, fork, and a spoon, and they all like collapse together.
I think in Lefky's sense, you'll get a what was that sap called?
Oh, the Aetherius sap.
Yeah, you'll get an Aetherius sap hammerhead with a bone handle in it.
That'll do.
It's a walrus penis. Is the bone that you get?
Yeah.
His hammer was way cooler than mine. Can I get a little more?
No. Lefky knows immediately that it's a walrus penis, and he won't tell any of you why.
He just says nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Starts pounding with it.
Yeah.
Well, hello, big boy.
And I guess it's up to the party if they want to start working on it.
Yeah, it's up to the rest of you guys if you want to begin helping with this.
So we're working on a warforged.
You are all working at the same anvil, I guess. Working on a new warforged, a body of a warforged. It doesn't have any light or life in it yet, but it is a new form.
For my part,
can you describe? Or actually, I think all of you could probably describe a part of it.
So I don't know if I focus on a specific part, but I think what I add to it is a very organic feel to the components that are there. Like everybody goes in and does their bit, and I come and do a pass and try to make it more. I guess not human-like, but whatever the general term is for all sentient beings in this world.
Humanoid.
Humanoid, but that still feels very human-centric.
Yeah, that's still, yeah.
Formed from nature. Like
Yeah, I'm adding a bit of
the
mystical
perfect
nature.
ratio,
Yeah.
oh,
He's going to end up looking a little Vitruvian, with a touch more walrus penis.
So you're
Yeah,
saying
massive
you're
hog.
the Elvis area, right?
Exclusive.
Yeah, I say all this fancy stuff, but I'm just making a giant boner.
Yeah. He doesn't even do anything. He just takes the hammer and shoves it where the penis should be.
Job done. We can go home, boys.
Who's the first person after Lefty, if anybody else starts working on it?
I'll start working on it.
Ooh, do you want to pull? Did we get a? I liked the memory thing. Do we get at the first strike of the hammer? From
Yes. At the as soon as you like hit your hammer onto the anvil, I'm going to need a poignant memory from Erebos's life.
I think I remember it pretty well. It was pretty simple as well. It was like him in a field in like a meadow, almost like a picnic with his wife, and his kind of kids were playing a little bit in the distance. And it was just like this moment of like he felt like he had reached the top, like he's good, he's set, and it was just like pure joy.
And Erebos begins to work on the chest, the heart.
Yes.
He does. Yeah, I don't know if I'm thinking a little too much about this, but like how Secundus had to take a piece of himself into it. I also tried to take a piece of himself.
I would say all of you give a little bit of yourselves to this. Eat more than the memory. Maybe some of. I don't know how much the rest of the party knows about Erebos, and I don't know. I don't want to reveal too much of your character if you don't want me to. But I don't think that
memory goes, because this is the first thing I've heard of Erebos, right? So.
Yeah, I don't think that any of you have ever heard like he's. I don't think he's ever mentioned like a family or anything.
Yeah. I think
this is the memory that only Secundus gets this memory. All of you feel the feelings of it, but Secundus, I think, is the only one who sees them.
Yeah, I haven't necessarily like been keeping anything secret. I just like haven't.
We also haven't done a lot of like huge RP, like you guys talking at camp or anything like that.
Yeah. So it just hasn't.
Yes.
Yeah. Which has been great. It just hasn't naturally come up. So, but like you can like reveal stuff. Steve.
I was just saying I don't know that anybody like knows anything about like whether or not Erebos has a family that he's trying to get back to, a family that he's lost. But what emotions, like what would present Erebos feel after like reliving this memory? Because this is also what Secundus feels.
I think that there would be actually
is it like a feeling of like melancholy of like or a wistfulness of like a time past?
Yeah. It would be almost like great joy and then some sorrow.
Yeah. That is what you feel as Erebos is working on the chest, the heart of this Warforged. You see like this is gonna sound very corny, but like as he's like working on it, maybe like a tear, like when he gets to that sorrowful feeling, he's like overcome with emotion a little bit, and like a tear runs off his face, and like lands on the chest of this Warforged as he like slams down on it, and when his hammer smacks the chest, you can see that like spark of life like radiating off of where he hit.
A catalyst of hope.
Exactly. Who wants to be sad next?
I mean, I think Majin at first is kind of like not into this whole thing, but I think I don't know. He joins in. Everybody seems to be joining in reluctantly. I'll go with my hammer, and I think I don't know what Majin would start working on, but I think his specialty is kind of like Arcana and like magic and stuff. I don't know if there's some element of like.
After Lefty puts on the walrus penis, Majin's just over
legs. All right. Yeah. Lefty made legs.
Lefty made legs. Yes.
If there's any element of like magic I can imbue, even just like protective runes.
Some bracers. Right?
Yeah, I would say you
something
can
like
make
that,
some,
or even his weaponry and stuff like that.
As you're like,
if there's any weaponry,
as you're hitting this, as you begin working on the Warforged, the second your hammer hits the anvil, and this does not stop time for anybody else. Like everybody else is working. It's Secundus and this other person are immediately like share this memory, share the reliving of this moment. And no time passes. Like in the blink of an eye, it happens.
I presume that they can also choose not to start working on it, but to explore somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. You guys don't have to work on it. This is.
Yeah.
Will anybody that works on this though? They'll get to share the memories. That
Yes.
Are being...
Yes. Anybody who works on it will be sharing a memory.
Okay.
So Tyler, if you do want to continue, and now knowing that you will be sharing a memory, if you want to continue working on it, please share the memory.
I think that Secundus would see, I guess through the eyes of Majin, just a little boy being handed off to what look like dark mages, and he's immediately, probably no older than like 5 or 6 years old, immediately put into training, combat training, fighting other kids, weapon training, stuff like that.
Very much like that montage in 300 where it's just like Leonidas fighting all these different people.
Yeah, and he's killing other kids. And I think you get a little bit of it's just kind of I think it's just flashes, because I think a lot of this flashes in Majin's brain a lot over and over again, and just little scenarios where somebody confided in Majin, and Majin went to these like dark wizards and they ended up killing the other kid, or a scenario where Majin felt empathy for somebody and decided to give them a little bit of extra food, and then he in turn was punished for that type deal. Just it's a constant state of punishment and competition and rising in the ranks. And then I think at the epitome of it, you see Majin as a field general, just absolutely like slaughtering people, laughing while he does it. And then there's these moments where he comes home from these battles, these great wars, where he's just alone and sad. You might be like happy on the outside, but in moments of quietness, it's just a lonely existence type deal in the darkness somewhere in the world.
He'll look over to Majin and say, fitting for strong arms to protect and to wield weapons, tough and scarred hands to do dirty work when needed.
Sometimes protection is stronger than a blade. And do you have shields on your back?
I do, yeah, but
the
form in front of us doesn't.
But I would look. I think when you're talking to me, I would look at your shields on the backs. I know you seem to have an anti-protection thing going on there, so I would kind of look to those a little bit.
Kindred hearts.
Yes.
I have a question. What Secundus visually sees my memory?
Yeah, he like experiences it as if he were you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Not all of your memory. He experiences what you shared. So like anything like prior to or after that, he doesn't know.
Okay. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the general sense was that like everybody working on it gets a vague recollection of the memory.
Yes.
And I would get something more specific if you want me to.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think
then-
the one thing that we'll say the memories might be a little weird. You might not recognize some of the creatures that I'm.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, they're weird looking. A lot of them. Give me a second.
Like you might not recognize like the race of people that I'm constantly surrounded by. I don't know if you want me to describe them a little bit.
I am actually bringing up an image of what I'm using for them, like the true forms, or at least what we've used so far as the miniature. I think they all look. There are some that look similar, obviously. Some of them, however, are horrifyingly grotesque beings. Let me dump some shit into help.
I'm gonna hug and kiss some kids real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. Hopefully they're yours.
What the fuck?
I am dumping some images and helpful shit right now.
Noise.
Yes, you guys could essentially just reverse image search these to figure out what they are, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't. It doesn't matter. You guys are gonna fight them either way. They look the most grotesque of them. Look like some of these. Hold on, it's sending over. There we go.
Oh, holy fuck! Hey yo.
Yeah.
those
I
look fun.
love the purple guy with the Super Saiyan hair. That guy's sick. The black guy.
Yeah, he's fucking cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, but a lot of them are just humanoid in nature. Let me go.
All right.
The ones I just sent are ones that you see a bit more randomly. The ones I'm sending now are the ones that are a bit more common. Oops. Didn't mean to send that one twice.
Some real eldritch action going on here.
Yeah, man. They are kind of eldritchy. Those are the most, like, absurd ones that you see. Things that you haven't seen before. But Tyler...
Everything has tentacles, Tyler. What's
Oh, that's a me choice, not a Tyler choice.
Oh, okay.
But Tyler, you can explain what the majority of the Akudama.
Yeah, like Akudama, I guess, are like subterranean beings. A lot of them have like a very like the underwater creatures have like very pale, translucent skin. Like I know a lot of these are like colorful, but they would be almost like pale, translucent because we don't get a lot of sunlight where Akudama live.
That's right, these ones are the rare ones.
Yeah. Honestly, in my mind, they kind of look like, who's that like super white creature from like Alien, like Prometheus? Like the dude who's got like a really like, translucent white skin.
The architect people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
a little
architects.
bit like that. Like not as big and ripped, but like the Majin's obviously a bit shorter. But yeah, so there's just a little like translucent skin, but the general appearance is a bit monstrous for sure.
Engineers, that's what they're called.
Engineers, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you see specifically what Majin looks like. But
You do not
definitely
see.
surrounded
I'm getting the image of what Majin.
Something more recent were the people, the Harkothans or Harkonnens from Dune.
Oh, from Dune, yeah.
Their planet, yeah, they're all like
Harkonnen.
white and everything.
Fucking
Yeah, the
Harkonnen.
Harkonnen, that's it.
Yeah, Harkonnens.
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista and Elvis.
Yeah, how those guys were like when they were on their planet, it was just like all fucking white.
Which was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Fucking Elvis. Austin Butler. How
Yeah.
dare you?
I said his name. I would say that you don't see a lot of light where they're living. I mean, obviously you see this as if you were Majin, so
Is that engineer like what Majin's like? He's just running around with his loins girded? Just...
yeah, I mean, they don't wear a lot of clothes.
I
don't know that, actually. That's Tyler's decision. The Akudama are more his thing than mine.
We were Akudama were cool.
Heathens, good lord.
We're clothed. We've got culture. How dare you? We got culture.
We're just deep sea dwelling Eldritch horrors, not fucking heathens. Come on.
Well, he's not an Eldritch Horror. The other ones are Eldritch Horrors.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're.
He is of the normal brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I also don't think you super know what Majin is.
You haven't seen other things.
Yeah, for sure.
Outside of this memory, you have not seen things like Majin before.
Yeah.
And you've also never seen Majin look like this before.
Well, current sect just woke up, so yeah, he hadn't seen a lot of things like this before. Perfect sect, I don't know, I guess, yeah.
Every time you say that, it reminds me of Perfect Cell.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
That's it. That's what's happening. He's absorbing your memories and becoming a more perfect villain.
Yeah.
I just don't want to look like Cell. God damn it, it's so gross.
Sorry, because in your next evolution, you have to start sucking things up with your back penis.
Yeah. With
your bottom penis.
Yeah, with your bottom penis. Who would like to go next? We'll probably finish these memories, and then I won't have you guys fight anything until the next session. Because the next session, it's a big fight.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, it's 10:30. Let's say, Preston. Let's have you go. I like the memory.
What do you choose to do, Preston? Are you exploring, or are you?
Yeah, what do you want
taking
to
up
do?
the hammer?
Preston, are you dead?
You dead, boy. I done told you.
Oh, he's dead. All right, Christian, you're up. What are you doing in this moment? What is Toby doing? Does he also want to work on the dog or on the?
Toby just puts the hammer in his backpack next to the talking book.
That's mine now. The talking book canonically is
That's
inside
my
the pocket
bitch.
dimension right now.
I want to ask Secundus, like, where the blood's from.
I think in this moment, you, Secundus, now realize that you smell blood. Because in the memory that you're existing in right now, there shouldn't be blood. That metallic scent shouldn't be there.
That is not the blood of my people.
Yeah.
Ponderous. And he'll probably, honestly, go back to hammering. I'm not sure he does
He's
not
not
conscious enough to operate outside that.
Yeah, he lifts up, notices the smell, and then kind of like communicates with you, and then goes right back to what.
I gotta kind of walk a line between being part of the scenery and then also
Yeah. He does not. Yeah, I don't even know that you're a Warforged. You don't smell anything.
I mean, maybe I can sense it, but I don't
Yeah, you can
probably not the
sense.
same way you do.
Yeah. Anything else while you guys are in this room? I know, Preston, are you there? Yoo-hoo. I'm gonna kick him from the
we can't hear him if he's not even lighting up. So.
No.
Yeah, bud, what's up, man? You're supposed to be in bed.
Every time when I grab something that says he's not even staring at that.
I disconnected him, so
And she's not even.
if he was present, he'd come back in.
And she's not even playing with. So I just grab it, and then she says,
It's hot as hell.
You're not supposed to be playing with anything, buddy. You're supposed to be playing with
Okay. Well, if that is that, I think we are going to do one more thing.
He was whining about it.
Okay, please go back to bed.
So Sagunas, can you describe to us the figure that has been created?
Yeah, so after much toil and the people in the party that did partake, and then also there are other Warforged, other bodies that you can't really discern the face at when you look directly at, have all worked together to build this. Perfect Sect would hold him and hold him up in all four arms, almost in a Lion King way, the circle of lifestyle, with all the people looking up at him.
Yeah.
He's a coppery, kind of slender warforged that looks looks fast, but maybe even a little sickly, kind of like not fully shaped like what you saw whenever Secundus was shaped and formed, but he's a coppery tone instead of a silvery tone that Secundus was when he was being formed. He's going to hold him up and he's going to call him by his name. Yehimi Renovati. And then he's going to cradle him. He's small. He's probably 5-year-old shaped, sized. In perspective of a giant warforged, he's probably adult shaped to you guys. But he's going to hold him and he's going to call him Rennie for short. And then his eyes will open up red and green, Christmassy colors.
Is one eye red and one eye is green, or
I was thinking that what's that chimera stuff?
yeah,
Hypo something.
Hypochimerism.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that. One red eye, one green eye.
Heterochromia. That's what it is.
Yeah, heterochromia. Okay. Which is totally weird for Warforged to have something besides like a solid color eye. And you're going to see that Secundus, it does have some pride in it. That he and his brothers and friends worked on it. He's still a little confused, a little uncertain about it. So I guess that's where we'll leave that emotion.
Yeah, because I don't think that we're going to do this next part just yet. I think it's more... I don't even know that it happens yet.
I assume the next part will be the third memory, and that'll be
yes. That is where we will pick up. We can
wait. Are we all his fathers now?
I think you're. I think you're all kind of this Warforge's daddies.
Oh yeah.
We're all partners.
You guys are all hetero life mates. Well, maybe not hetero. You guys are all life mates. I don't want to make that. I don't want to make that decision for your characters.
In the sense of Secundus, there's like no male female thing.
Right.
They're all just hymns. She's could be just as easily done.
Yeah.
I have all like male female.
One Warforged got really into making other Warforged with boobies, and they kind of like nixed that idea after that.
Yeah,
it just took up like 15% more materials, and they didn't want to keep doing that.
Very less efficient.
They're really trying to streamline the process.
Anymore.
Just own this at the forge, being like, Jarvis, make them 20% bigger. Just a new Jarvis, Harvest 50% bigger.
Yeah. I think before we go any further, we should wrap up here. When is the next time you guys are available? I am a free almost every weekend this month.
Yeah, I think I'm good for next weekend and the weekend after that.
Yeah, I mean, we can do the 12th, and then that'll put us back on our regular schedule.
Oh, hi, Aaron.
Yeah, I think I'm good for the 12th. I'll just double check Marissa, but I don't have anything.
Yeah, our regular schedule of whenever the fuck we can get together.
Yeah. So far, I think the 12th or the 13th would be fine for me. I'll have to make sure though.
Cool. I can make either one of those days work. Just let me know.
Cool. William.
Hopefully this is going well. Sorry, it's been sec focused, but
No, it's.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
We're good for next weekend.
Cool. Everyone, you eventually throughout the campaign, all of you will have a very character-focused session.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Oh no, you will.
Chris is like, not if I can have any of it. I'm gonna fucking off myself.
Yeah.
Christian
you
is.
had a literal talking book, and you were like, "I'm not dealing with that."
Yeah, Christian is trying everything he can to Sam Riegel his way out of any story content.
You're like, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
He's just here to fight things, and that's it.
Yeah, Christian.
He's sniff asses and bite.
Yeah.
ankles.
He found like a mysterious journal, and he was like, "I'm not opening that."
Christian is the Travis Willingham of this campaign. He's not gonna do anything that he has to like further the plot unless it's for it. Like
He can sniff out that blood, I guess.
Or-
and, like
he's not going to romance. He's not going to.
we can go deeper, like
What?
from the memory of Secundus, we'll drop into a memory of like into a different weird mindscape.
Yeah, little do you guys
where
know.
They keep going into memory, like in
Inception.
Last campaign was the journal, or it was something that was like, yeah, this could definitely be your dad. Throws it into a yawning portal.
Yeah. Oh, this could definitely be your dad's journal. You know,
Loser.
since
Where's
I don't
he at?
know that we'll ever return to that campaign. Just
That
'cause I don't.
saddens me.
It should sadden you. The guy with the gold mask that you guys that was a prisoner on the ship was going to turn out to be your father later.
Yeah, I figured.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I feel like we could do, you know what, holiday one-shots with the last campaign characters. I think that'd be fun. Like a Halloween
I have no
thing,
problem with
or like a Christmas thing. Somehow keep the story going, but then make it just holiday one-shots a little bit.
I mean, you guys
That's
can,
kind of how I've been playing Secundus. Like I brought Secundus in.
if you guys
I'm
want
really impressed by the way
to.
Stevens brought in that story arc.
Honestly, it's cool and it expands the world in a lot of fun ways that I hadn't thought of before. It also changes not the backstory, but like the origins of something else in the campaign.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to bring those characters back, I have no problem with that, and we can run Curse of Strahd or like Ravenloft stuff for Halloween.
Yeah, I'd be down with that, honestly.
I'm sure that they have some Christmas
We were
modules.
fighting Strahd, weren't we?
So
we
did a one shot where you guys resurrected Vecna on accident in a haunted house.
That was Halloween.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
That was the Halloween one shot that we did a while ago.
In our first campaign, we were.
Yeah, in that
we left
campaign
off,
we were fighting Strahd in the shadow.
Very well could have been. I don't remember.
Dylan threw a grenade
I got-
and destroyed the whole campaign.
No, I threw.
Dylan was like, I grenade Strahd.
No.
And I got
a
my racist
glass
against
of-
vampire guy got bit by a vampire.
Oh
I threw an orb of like anti-gravity or something. It was
Yeah,
like an
something like
AoE of
Because our
anti-gravity.
conversation with him was going nowhere. You're like, you know what? I just threw a grenade.
I was genuinely getting upset
Yeah,
too
we never
because
left
it was
that campaign.
it was straight up like that last session was 10 minutes of us walking it like in game, and then it was 45 minutes of us going, what should we do next? We have this option, this option, and this option, and then everybody just kept saying no to those options. And I'm like, those are our only options. Those
And now we're in a different
are our only
campaign.
options.
that was like right after we got eaten by some rocks, though, right?
No, because those were in the basement. They were ropers, and they were in the basement
part of
of.
the campaign I was part of when we were in Strahd. We were on a trail that went around the city, and we ended up
Oh yeah.
a nest of rocks that were going to kill us.
Yeah.
And then we ended up at a bridge with Strahd, and then Dylan threw a gravity grenade. I was going to raise the sun on him.
That's
burn
right.
him to a crisp.
Yeah, I do remember all of that.
And then we kind of stopped right before we were going to kill that version of Strahd.
Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
I'm Halloween one shot.
It was cool. It was really cool.
Whatever. You know what? Let's get rid of this campaign and go back to that.
All right.
Yeah,
Fuck this.
full wipe.
No.
Yeah. All right. Delete all.
Well, that's how you get there. That's the trick. When you keep nesting pocket dimensions, you eventually get dropped into Ravenloft, where you're stuck in the prison of the gods thing.
We wake up as the other characters. Oh, what the hell happened?
Idiots are just fucking like creating new characters all the time. We're starting new campaigns. Little do you know, this is a fucking multiverse that we've created.
Toys, it's bedtime.
That's half a joke. There are characters. There is a character, at least one character from the other campaign that will show up in this campaign.
Oh, is it Cartman?
No, it's not Cardman. Eric Cardman.
No, we should be real him. But he's constantly like, this is the universe he's from.
Eric Cardman.
What happened? I was yelling at my kids.
Level 4 fighter, level 3 paladin.
Love it.
I was just saying. I was telling you guys that there is a character. There is at least one character from the other campaign that will show up.
Well, we did pull him from a different dimension from the deck.
It is not Cardman.
Oh. Alright, so potentially the 12th or the 13th.
I'm cool with the 12th. I can make the 12th or 13th work. I can also make the 19th or 20th work and the 26th or 27th work.
I'm pretty
I
open.
can do the 12th. I wouldn't be able to do my weekend off, which is the 19th weekend.
Got it. What time would you need to start next weekend? I just closed
the
Boundary.
earlier the better, whatever works for everyone. I'll like try to
What
get
time
home
do you
the
start? Oh, the earlier the better. Do you have to work the next day, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so I'm usually have to be up by like 5:30, and then I get to work for 6.
Okay.